Hello everyone and welcome to MHS Sports on MHTV. I'm Jess Burton and today we're at Staff Sergeant Christopher Piper Field at Marblehead High School as the number 10 ranked Magicians girls soccer team takes on number 23 Northampton Blue Devils in the round of 32 of the MIAA Division II state tournament. The contest today is brought to you by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association. This association is responsible for governing, coordinating, and promoting educational athletics and aims to provide student athletes with the best high school experience possible. The MIAA stresses the values of interscholastic athletics from discipline and commitment to sportsmanship and teamwork. Visit the MIAA website today at miaa.net and explore all they have to offer. All right, so once again, this is the game between the 10th ranked Magicians and the 23rd ranked Blue Devils of Northampton High School, making about a 2.5 hour ride out here. They live close to Six Flags out by Amherst. Well, a long trip for the girls. We'll see what kind of game they bring. And if we are in store for any sort of game like we had last night between the same seeding pair, the 10th ranked boys Magicians team against number 23 Somerset Berkeley, then we are in for a treat, because that game went to double overtime and was an absolute classic. I know Coach Lisa Wales for the Magicians would like this one to go a little bit smoother than the boys' one went last night, even though they got out of there with a win. It got their hearts racing just a bit. The Magicians girls team has had a fantastic season, and they're playing their best soccer of the year. In their last 9 games, they are 6-1-2. They are 2-0-1 in their last 3 coming into the tournament. They put together a 5-4-4 conference record in a very difficult Northeast Conference, and they went undefeated out of conference. 4-0-1 was their record, so they are tested and ready for the tournament. And it's kind of the complete opposite for the Blue Devils. They went undefeated in conference play, but they are in a weak conference. They went 13-0, but then when they played the end of their schedule, their 5 out-of-conference games, they were winless. They went 0-2-3. And in their 13 conference games, they scored 64 goals and only allowed 4. And in their 5 out-of-conference games, they only scored 1 goal while allowing 4. So completely different when they are not playing within their conference. So again, we're not exactly sure what we're going to see from the Blue Devils here tonight, but they'll try to play spoiler to the Magicians here on Piper Field. At least some of the first half will be played under a sunset sky. It's a beautiful night for soccer, while most of the second half will be played in darkness under brand new lights over the brand new turf at Piper Field. This is the second tournament game on the new turf. The boys christening it last night with the win. Magicians girls volleyball team lost last night in their tournament game. And then we have football here Friday night for the Magicians boys, who have won their final 6 games going into the tournament. So a big tournament week for the Magicians and athletics here at MHS. Right there, it looked like Northampton might have got away with a handball. First real push from the Magicians and number 22, Lucy Church. Church has been a big-time player for the team this year with 3 goals and 5 assists as Northampton breaks midfield back the other way with some speed. They dribble towards the corner. Defense and pressure put on by one of the captains for the Magicians, Ava Machado. Ava, one of the strongest defenders in the NEC. Always seems to be in the right place on the back line. And this will be Haley Gilmore's first touch of the night in net for the Magicians. She's a sophomore who over the season has earned the starting spot. She was splitting time with freshman Lily Heller to begin the year, but it's basically Haley's show. Has been for a while and will be in the tournament. Here's a chance for the Magicians on this crosser that lands in between the hash marks. Kicked by Sammy Dosh. And then towards the net. And it's caught there by the Northampton goalie, Imani Power Green. A hyphenated last name, Power Green. A great name. Both goalies get their hands on it on back-to-back possessions. We're 3 minutes in. This is what the Magicians are going to want to do. Challenge the back line. Power Green comes out and stops the ball with Sophie Robinson right on top of her. Robinson goes tumbling over the top, and Green able to hold on to it. Power Green, excuse me, able to hold on to it. This is back to Machado. She thought about playing it to Gilmore, but kicks it out of bounds instead. Machado sends it upfield, but nobody back there for the Magicians. Mentioned that Machado is a captain. So is Sophie Robinson. There are 12 seniors on the Magicians roster that won a deep tournament run. Feel like it's been building over the last few years. They've been getting better and better. And now ranked number 10 in D2. Things open up here for Church, but she's not going to be able to run it down. And she wisely held up because it's going to be a corner kick for the Magicians as it deflected off the Blue Devils on its way through. A long ball over everybody to the far sideline. Sydney Ball trying to chase it down, and she can't get there in time. The corner was taken by Courtney Hitzerich. She just put a bit too much on it. We mentioned the huge discrepancy in goals scored to allowed for the Blue Devils. 65 scored in the season, 8 allowed. For the Magicians, they scored 41 goals this year while allowing 20. Their 3 most recent wins, all shutouts. Their final game of the season was a 2-2 tie with Newton South. Prior to that, a 3-0 win over Linfield, then a 6-0 win over Winthrop. And 2 games before that, a 2-0 win over Manchester Essex. They have 6 shutouts on the season, and Gilmore is credited with 5 of them in net. This is Lucy McDonald. She'll drop it off to Sydney Ball. Nice move by Ball. Pushes it back to Machado, who launches. Robinson going to try to run it down. The clear attempt from Lewis, number 3, hit Robinson. But the Blue Devils get it up to about the 35. The Magicians had it for a second. Back with Northampton. Machado chasing it. You know she's going to catch up to it. She's one of the fastest girls in the conference. One of the fastest girls basically in the state. Part of the 4x100 state championship track team last year. That crosser gets right to the paint on the sideline, and the referee says it's out of bounds. McDonald kicks it towards midfield. Northampton's there to keep it on their attacking side, at least for the moment. That's Sammy Dosh charging the ball, gets a pass to Robinson. Sophie has to circle back, passes back to Dosh. Look in middle, it's cut off. It bounces to Gilmore, and she just misses past the near post. That's Callie Gilmore, the shooter, and she is the leading scorer for the Magicians this season. She has 13 goals of the 41 scored for the team. She's just a sophomore. That's stepped in on by Cameron O'Brien. Back to Gilmore. She shoots again, and it's wrapped up. Big kick by Power Green. It'll chase ball back. She has pressure from behind. Number 7, named Willow Claps. Back to Claps. Switches feet. Shoots off the side of the net. Good footwork by Claps to get the shot away. And a dangerous chance. Haley Gilmore in net, hugging the post. Probably would have been able to make the save. That goes out of bounds off of Church, unable to keep it in, right in front of the scorer's table. Number 10, McDonald for Northampton, sends it towards the corner, and it's kicked out by Sid Ball before Sullivan, number 4, can get there. It'll be a throw-in for Northampton, which they take quickly. It's headed by the Magicians. That pass works out. It gets to Church. Lucy patient with the dribble. Tries to flip it ahead. Now wants to get back to it to make up for a mistake. And strong play by Church. The smaller player pushes the challenger off the ball. Knocks Tegan McDonald to the turf. You love the effort by Lucy Church. A bad pass and then got back on the ball quickly and won it back. That'll go out of bounds. We've played 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes. We're scoreless. MIAA round of 32. 10 seed versus 23rd seed. Should mention that Northampton has already played a tournament game. They won a preliminary game against Doherty Memorial High School 5-0. But that's just another somewhat weak opponent, which was kind of what they're used to in their conference. And they were able to take care of business, but Marblehead, a completely different kind of opponent. Probably the best team that they've seen this year. One thing that the Magicians can't do is underestimate anybody, though. Whether they're in a bad conference or not. They won 13 straight to begin the year. And put up 64 goals in those 13 games. It's got to count for something. This throw-in goes to Hitzrich. Bounces around between a couple of Blue Devils. They can't clear yet. It's given back to them by O'Brien. Here they are in transition. This is Claps. Machado catches up to her, but Claps breaks free. Pass goes middle, and Gilmore comes in from behind to clear it out of bounds. Northampton's Olivia Busoni was waiting in the middle of the box for the pass from Claps and was just a bit behind her. I'm surprised they just took number 7 off the field. As Claps has put the most pressure on the Magicians on both sides of the field, but now she's on the bench. This is Allison Busoni, gets away from Church at midfield. Pass up ahead to Olivia Busoni. Olivia trying to work Machado, got around her for a second, then passed it away. Magicians do themselves hold the ball there. They kick it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in just beyond midfield again for the Blue Devils. Hitzrich got away with a push in the back on the throw in. Magicians are too congested here on the sideline. This is O'Brien to McDonald. Triple teamed. She breaks free of it. She gets to the sideline. Nowhere to go. Drops to Church. Church lofts a pass through the center circle. They flip the field. Dosh to Gilmore. Immediately defended. Has the ball poked away by Lewis. Dosh over to O'Brien. Takes a look at the goal. Sends one that way. And on a couple hops, Imani Power Green secures it. She'll punt it away with 25 minutes left in the half. That gets all the way to the end line, and it will be a goal kick. Off the goal kick and a throw, they work it all the way down the field to the Blue Devils, but didn't really ever have a possession there. Church comes flying in, kicks it towards midfield. Back to Machado. She has to discard it. Robinson steps in for the steal. But she's the last to touch it. That's going to be Gerson's ball. She lets it drop. Pass to Dosh on the sideline. I think it's a handball against Sullivan. Headed back the direction it came. Machado, strong-footed, wins the battle there. And she needed to. If the ball had popped the other way, there was space and only Gilmore left to beat for Northampton. Good trap by Church. Flicks it ahead. It's going to come back to her. Good chest trap. Church with a centering ball looking for Robinson. It doesn't get to her. Gilmore steps in. Bounces just a bit too far in front of her for her to get back to. And that'll be the keeper's ball. That lands in between Robinson and the defender. Northampton controls. They work the sideline. It didn't look like it went out of bounds. A foul called against Northampton. O'Brien takes the kick. It skims off Hitzrich's foot. Back to the defense. The Blue Devils control. Poked away from Gerson. And by ball. Now Machado cuts it off. Bounces back. And a save is made. Hatteras Lewis, the shooter. She's also the one who broke by Gerson and Ball initially. And Haley Gilmore needs to be careful. She backed up a lot. She had 1 foot over the goal line, 1 foot on the field side when she made that catch. The lead pass intended for Church, knocked out of bounds by the Blue Devils. Lisa Wales goes to her bench. Bring in Ashley Mortensen to replace Cora Gerson with 20 minutes left in the half. We're still scoreless. But Coach Wales recognizing she might need some fresh legs on that back line after they just got beat. Couple solid headers there. Then it's flipped back towards the defense, and Robinson's offside. It's a strong kick. Ball comes flying in. And it ends up a throw-in for the Magicians. And they lost it. Take a look down at the bench. Coach Lisa Wales shaking her head. I don't think she likes what she sees so far from the team. Definitely seem to be playing tentative. They could and should be pushing the pace. Here's Gilmore. She breaks free. She fires, and it's caught by Power Green. It's a good aggressive try, but from long range for Gilmore. Magicians' assistant coaches are Amy Gochman, Alex Schub, and Phil Witt. Northampton's coached by Vanessa Butinsky. That ball is slowing down. The Magicians need to rush that. They're a little late to it, and it pops up for a handball against the Blue Devils, and the Magicians lucked out there. But they need to communicate better, and they need to charge the ball. It's almost like nobody wanted that one, and the Blue Devils Asha Singh, number 18, was just kind of lurking and waiting, and then got there right as both magicians did. There's Machado on the free kick. A couple of magicians run into each other. It's Robinson and Hitzerich that collide. Hitzerich out with it. Back to midfield with Machado. Up ahead for Church, and she is about 5 yards offside. Northampton has to be happy with where they're at right now. A tie game deep into the first half with the higher-ranked magicians. They have had little to no success in out-of-conference play this year. 0-2-3, only 1 goal scored, 4 allowed. They're hanging with the magicians here tonight. This is Olive Little. Just too far out in front of her. Machado gets there. It's an attacking zone throw-in coming for the Blue Devils, and they bring number 7, Willow Claps, back into the game, along with Eleanor Lewis, number 8. But Claps is somebody they need to mark up on right away. There she is, running after it. She weaves around ball, but it's picked up by Gilmore. It's a sky-high punt. Nice play by O'Brien at midfield. Unfazed by the Northampton player, running directly at her. 15 minutes left in the half. I'm not sure what that was. Is Dosh standing out of bounds? I mean, you got to know where you are on the field. And that is just that's mentally just a big mistake. I'm not sure what she's doing. And here is Claps, takes it away from Ball. Ball had trouble settling it. There's McDonald with a clean steal from behind. Good speed from McDonald. Robinson keeps possession alive. Flipped ahead, looking for McDonald. Trying to run through the back of the defense. Is still loose. Robinson can't control. Kick towards the bench by the Blue Devils. And it's popped up. McDonald back on it. Trying to lead Church. She's undercut. Another nice play by the Blue Devils defense. They decide to kick it out of bounds. One player that is playing hard for the Magicians tonight is Lucy McDonald. She was close to a breakaway. Only Allison Busson, number 20, was in front of her. She was trying to get back to that ball right in the middle of the field. Here's McDonald again. Her attempt is blocked, but it goes to Hitzerich. Hitzerich centers. It gets to the far post, and it's kicked over by Dosh, over the crossbar and out of bounds. Good crosser by Hitzerich. And that's the effort you want to see from the Magicians, running the posts. Their subs shuffling in and off the field, so the referee shuts down the goal kick for the moment. They play it short. Flip towards the defense. This time, it's Liv Carlson doing what McDonald just did, running up the back of Allison Busoni. But again, Busoni able to box out the Magicians' attacker and allow Imani Power Green to come out and wrap up the ball. There's a long pass from Olivia Busoni leading to the corner, intended for Lewis. The Magicians able to get there and kick it out. Good spot for a throw-in for the Blue Devils. Their throw-in settles with the Magicians. They kick it towards midfield. It's taken right back by the Blue Devils. To Claps. Short pass. Now one middle. Cam O'Brien kicks it off her teammate, but Hitzrich is able to clear it back towards midfield. That ball was loose in the box. Lucky Cam O'Brien was there. Nice passing by Northampton to get it into striking distance. I'm telling you, Willow Claps is going to make a difference in this game for them. The Magicians have to mark her up. Nice job by the defense on the free kick, getting it out of there. Get everybody congested around midfield now. Both defenses are up. No one on either side of the field beyond the 30. That'll force the Magicians' defense back. Machado lets it roll, and Gilmore scoops it. Gilmore kicks it away, headed by Callie Gilmore. And the Magicians are offside again. Carlson, the guilty party this time. Under 10 minutes to play in the half. Scoreless game. Gilmore dives into that header. Magicians keep it on the attacking side of the field. Ball challenged on the back end. Up ahead to Church. Flips it around the player in front of her and can't get the shot off cleanly. There's some contact as she shot it. But it results in a goal kick. Church showing off her speed by kicking it around number 15, Giannesson, and then going the other direction to get back to it. A couple of the Magicians go down. The Blue Devils trying to take advantage. Sid Ball saves the Magicians. Here's Claps. Passes middle. O'Brien stops it. They're not out of the woods yet. Off the crossbar. It bounces back in play. The second attempt is going to go out of bounds. The Blue Devils were that close. It was number 4, Allie Sullivan, who put it off the crossbar. And it was Willow Claps setting up the play. If there's an adjustment that needs to be made at halftime, it is markup number 7 at all times. Right now, she's the best player on the field. There's a McDonald. Slide tackle, and a good one. Forces a throw in. That was also a huge play by Cam O'Brien, slowing the momentum of the ball in the box prior to the kick off the crossbar. Hits Rich, switches direction. The crowd likes it, but she's not really going anywhere. East to west instead of north to south. Under 6 to play in the half. O'Brien from the logo over to Dosh, and she's offsides. Sammy Dosh is mentally not in it, having a rough time over there. Botnaru with the steal, takes some contact from behind. Referee gives the Magicians the ball. Carlson's pass cut off. Bounces off the back of Busoni, number 1. Now it's back in her direction. McDonald steps up on it for the Blue Devils. Give and go, and it's cut off by Machado and sent out of bounds. Excellent play by Machado. But again, who else? The give and go started by Willow Claps looking for Busoni, and then she was looking for the return pass. Magicians double team the ball just outside the box. Pass gets over to Sullivan. She gets tripped up. They'll play through it. Hits Rich, gets it off as she goes down. Carlson can't catch up to it, but the only choice the Blue Devils have is to kick it out of bounds. With 3.5 left, O'Brien will come up to take the throw in. The Blue Devils defense clears. Machado underneath it. Claps with her. Kicked back by Ball, but not very far. Back to Claps. It gets by Ball. Sent back into the middle, and Cam O'Brien kicks it out of there. Magicians defense gets out of trouble again for now. O'Brien, Machado, and Ball all having strong games. Helping to keep this game scoreless for the time being. We had a thriller last night between the same seeding pair with the Magicians boys team ranked 10th going up against Somerset Berkeley ranked 23rd. Went to double overtime. It was 1-0 Somerset Berkeley led it at halftime. Magicians tied it in the second half, won it in double overtime. We could be in for another thriller tonight with under 2 minutes left to play in the half. That skims off the toe of Olivia Busoni, and it's picked up by Haley Gilmore. At times last night, we thought one goal might decide it. I mean, we thought it could be a 1-0 game. One goal did end up deciding it. What was the difference? Could be the same here tonight. Plenty of time for Power Green to come out of the net and pick that one up. Botnaru was closing in. Off the head of Hitzerich. O'Brien again keeps it on the attacking side, but overruns it, trying to get back to it. Machado underneath Claps to kick it out. Throw in goes Claps' way. She's double teamed, as she should be. They'll do it again. It's throwing a little off the mark. O'Brien will be able to play it. Back to Machado. Out off of number 20, Busoni. Very little time left in the half. Gilmore just kicks it ahead. Didn't even let the throw in land. It's Carlson looking for help. Has Hitzerich. She's surrounded. And the Blue Devils take it back, and we are going to halftime. Scoreless in the MIAA Division II round of 32. It's 0-0 between the 10th-ranked Magicians and the 23rd-ranked Blue Devils of Northampton High School. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the second half, and we should be in for an exciting finish. We'll see you then. Oh. Before we go, actually, one more thing. A message from the MIAA that a well-rounded education is one that is not only academically oriented, but one that also includes physical, social, and emotional development. Interscholastic athletics provide the other half of education. The MIAA encourages you to support your local high school athletic teams throughout the school year, and we'd like to remind you that MHTV is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and if you're enjoying this production of MHS Sports on MHTV, please consider making a donation by visiting our website, marbleheadtv.org, and clicking on the donate button. We'll be back with second half action in just a few minutes. Welcome back to MHS Sports on MHTV and coverage of the MIAA Division II tournament. It's the round of 32 between the Magicians and the Northampton Blue Devils. We're tied 0-0 at halftime. Teams will switch ends for the second half. The Magicians will be shooting at the left end of the field. Northampton shooting at the right end. Go in the direction of their benches. Say Northampton has had the better scoring chances so far today, or now tonight. The game started during the day, and now it's pitch black. It's still afternoon. That's right. Closest for them being their shot off the crossbar. Magicians really yet to have a real dangerous scoring opportunity. Magicians and Captain Sophie Robinson will start us off here in the second half. One of these teams is moving on to the Sweet 16. One team's season is coming to an end tonight. Head coach Lisa Wales for the Magicians told me before the game she was hoping this game wouldn't be a game that would really raise the blood pressure, or as she said, add some gray hairs to the head, but she's getting that sort of contest here tonight. We're looking at another thrilling ending like we had last night in the boys' game. Might be headed for overtime again, too, but we'll find out. Not a bad first possession for Northampton as they force Gilmore out of the net, and they were looking for the player that's been the best player out there for them today. That's number 7, Willow Claps, close to the ball again in the striker position. Say the strongest games so far from the Magicians have been Cam O'Brien and Machado on the back end. You can include Sydney Ball in that as she chases this down against Claps and kicks it out of bounds. And on the front end, it's got to be Lucy McDonald. It's been a sleepy sort of offensive game for the Magicians. And they're the ones that have no excuse to be sleepy. They didn't have to travel at all, where Northampton had a 2.5-hour bus ride. And they also didn't have their normal routine. They didn't have school today. Not sure if that would help it or hurt, as you can probably sleep in a little bit. You don't have your normal focus in the classroom throughout the day. It doesn't seem to be hurting them so far. Couple minutes into the second half here. Mortensen will throw it in. And the header bounces off of Sammy Dosh and out of bounds. I think just they're not going Dosh's way today. Up ahead to Claps. Machado running with her. Machado able to kick it out. The winner of this game moves on to play the winner of 26 seed Sharon and number 7 Neshoba Regional. It's Robinson and Church battling on the far sideline. Looks like there's some grabbing going on, and the whistle goes against the Blue Devils. Number 1 seed in Division II, Masconomet, part of the NEC. We mentioned how tough the NEC was this year. The Magicians going 5-4-4 in conference, losing to Masco both times they played them, but almost beating them in the opener. They lost 3-2. They almost caught Masco off guard, coming off a state championship. Here's Dosh. That's a nice move by her to Hitzerich. Flips it towards the goal, and it's caught by Power Green. Looks like Sammy Dosh has woken up a little bit. Nice pass. Hitzerich, one-timer. And it was off the right foot, which was a goal side foot. Tough little kick to make. Some confusion there by the Blue Devils defense. Power Green coming out of the net, getting away just in time as Robinson was climbing up the back of number 3, Lewis, who was the defender in front of her. This is McDonald. Into the box. Northampton wanted a handball. We play on. Long pass right down the hash marks. Gilmore waits for it. We're 5 minutes in. Gilmore didn't get a lot on that pass. Goes to the defense. McDonald cuts off the Blue Devils at midfield. Back to Sydney Ball. This is Mortensen up the sideline, out of reach of Dosh and out of bounds. Callie Gilmore led Marblehead in goals with 13 of them this season of 40. This is past the defense. Robinson with a chance. She scores! The captain, Sophie Robinson. A good time for her first goal of the season. A mistake made by the Blue Devils defense. The pass got beyond them, and for the first time, the Magicians weren't offsides. Power Green came out as the last line of defense, and Robinson kicked it right by her. And Robinson started to celebrate before the ball was even in the net. They got the break they needed. Easy tap in for Robinson. And the Magicians now in control here in the second half. Prior to that, when I was mentioning Gilmore's goals, I was going to say they've had 11 different goal scorers on the team. Now they have 12. The first of the year for Robinson. That's kept in. Nope, it does go out of bounds. Late whistle. It'll be a Magician's throw-in. Gilmore runs into the defender. This is towards the net. Power Green had her hands up for it, trying to track it down. And it bounced wide of the net. She didn't look like she was very confident in being able to catch it. Magicians are offside. A hand from the official was up. This is Hitzerich. Comes back to Courtney. She kicks it forward. Blue Devils get there first. Another good spot for a throw-in for the Magicians. Down beneath the 20. They go into McDonald. Takes out the defender running with her. And she gets whistled for it. This is Claps trying to track it back down after she kicked it out in front of her. It'll be knocked out by Machado. It's tough to get by Machado on that back line. With her speed, plus her intelligence for the game. This one bounces on the inside of Claps into the box. Kicked towards the sideline by Ball. And then it bounces up and hits the Northampton player on the sideline in the hands. Magicians boys soccer team letting her know that she can't do that. I think she's aware. Ball gets tripped up. Her feet got tangled up with Olivia Busoni, maybe a little extra from Busoni too. Ball reaches down at her left ankle, but she will walk off any pain. Ball is a tough player. Had a concussion earlier in the season. The Magicians are also without their leading scorer from last year, Sadie Halpern, who tore ACL earlier in the season. And Ball actually suffered the concussion at practice. Was out for a few games. They've fought through injuries all season. Those are not the only two girls that have been banged up, that's for sure. This will be a goal kick. Machado will take it. Strong kick. Crosses midfield. The throw-in flipped ahead by Church to the defense, but athletic play by Church. Ball waits for that one. She should have come up on it. Claps fighting against the Marblehead defense. She breaks through and she scores. Willow Claps makes it 1-1. I knew she was trouble. You could see it coming. She had the best chances for them in the first half. And she just never stopped fighting. Took on the whole Magicians defense. Found space to shoot and fired it past Gilmore to tie this game. That'll be the keeper's ball. Gilmore never had a chance to save that. Perfectly placed ball. It's a new game. Just over 27 minutes left. Hitzerich stays with it. Centered. Gilmore with her foot up by her head. And call is a corner kick. Magicians do it quickly. Power Green back on the front post just in time. And she shanks the kick into the stands. See if the Magicians can take advantage of this. Another throw in. They'll move up a bit to do it. The play that resulted in the corner, Gilmore was steps from the goal. It was a tough play for her. She had to stick her leg so high up in the air to try to get to the ball. Probably would have been better off trying to head it. Sid Ball, the fancy moves, works the sideline. It takes a strange hop. It's with Robinson. She drops it for Dosh. And it's off the side of the net, out of bounds. Sammy probably had time to load up, put more behind that. Two new players on for the Blue Devils. Players were still filing on and off the field. It's the second time they've done that. They play the goal kick short. The Magicians charge after it. Poor passing from the Blue Devils. And a good spot from Magicians. Blue Devils doing themselves no favors here. The shanked goal kick, that short play, and on a short hop, Power Green able to make the catch. They have to get it beyond midfield here. They do. Claps, challenging ball. Comes back to Sydney. Cam O'Brien goes to get it. It stays in bounds. Space for Northampton. Machado poised, cuts it off. Blasts it downfield the other way. Robinson in the vicinity. That'll stay in bounds. Church rolls one into the box. Back to Church, looking for the angle. And it'll be a corner kick. Rolls out just beneath the flag. It's another fantastic play on defense by Machado. Here's the corner. Gilmore heads it. The Magicians urging the referee to make a call that it's a handball. Play continues, and they kick it off the post, and then out of bounds. It's wise of Hitzerich to keep playing, and she almost scored. But everybody on the field wants a handball. Sammy Dosh in the referee's face a little bit, reenacting the play. It's going to be some of the fans for the language they're using. Language describing the call the referee did not make. But that's why he just stopped the game. Got to clean it up in the stands. Can't have anything going against your team. It would have been a penalty kick if they had called the handball. But the Magicians almost scored anyway. Sydney Ball tells Gilmore to come out and get it. Ball has to keep running after that. Clapp's right behind her. Besides Machado, Clapp's probably the fastest player on the field. And I'd love to see them in a race. But you can't just assume that Gilmore is going to be able to get there. She had to come a long way out of the net. Northampton brings a few more players out with fresh legs off the bench, and it's going to be a corner kick for them. That's a mistake. Miscommunication between Ball and Gilmore. Not a very smart play by a very smart player normally in Sid Ball. A corner for the Blue Devils. Center box. Gilmore was the one who headed it. She's on it again there. 3 times for Callie Gilmore. Able to work the Magicians out of trouble for the moment. Nice job by Gilmore doing it on both ends of the field. The leading goal scorer for the team with 2 headers and a kick to get that out of the box. Robinson lays a shoulder into Busoni. It's going to be a Magician's throw. Dosh eager to take it, but will leave it for Mortensen. Northampton thinks it's their ball. Off of the head of Dosh. That'll be last touched by Hitzrich on the slide. Mortensen rejects the header out of bounds. Under 20 minutes left. Tied at 1. Kicked ahead. It splits the Marblehead defense. It'll be O'Brien. She splits oncoming Blue Devil players with a pass up to McDonald. Lucy with a player coming on hard from behind. And she lost it. There has to be better communication. She's got to get rid of it. Ball jumps in. It stays in bounds. Sydney heads it a second time. Forces Machado back. Ball barely got any of that. Gilmore stops it and sends it through players across midfield. Robinson racing after it. And Power Green comes a long way out of the net. Gets there first, and Robinson runs into her and it knocks her down. Power Green looked at the official, and he just told her to get up and go back into her net. But Robinson showing off her speed. A half step late of Power Green's run. McDonald with some physical play. The physicality as a whole picking up here between the two teams. I didn't see a lot of contact on that play, but enough to draw a whistle against the Magicians. Blue Devils will have a kick right at midfield. Right on the 50-yard line, I mean. Headed by McDonald. Good read. Robinson got knocked down, going after it. Ball's clear off of the body of Busoni and out of bounds. And the Magicians are going to call a timeout. (17 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in regulation. The game tied at 1. Goals from Sophie Robinson for the Magicians and Willow Claps for the Blue Devils. The winner of this one goes on to the Sweet 16 to take on the winner of Sharon and Neshoba Regional. That game played tomorrow at Neshoba Regional at 6. Once that one's settled, we'll know the details of the Sweet 16 game if the Magicians already get there. This is the 10 and 23 matchup in the bracket. It's the same matchup that the boys soccer team had last night right here. They won in double OT. Might be destined for another overtime game here between these two teams here tonight. It's been an exciting game. It's been an exciting start to this tournament week here for MHS Athletics. It'll wrap up here at Piper Field Friday night with the football team's round of 16 game versus Norwood. The boys soccer team will play their Sweet 16 game. Prior to that, they'll play Thursday night at number 7 Wayland at 5 o'clock. Be sure to keep up with MHS Sports on our MHTV social media pages, at Jess MHTV Sports on X or Twitter, our Facebook page, just our Marblehead Television Facebook page, at MHTV Sports 1 on Instagram, and then our YouTube page also, just search Marblehead Television. That's where you are right now. Click subscribe on our YouTube page while you're here as well. There's a chance for the Blue Devils. It's flipped ahead. Machado defending. Well done. Where would they be without Machado? Didn't allow Olivia Busoni to get a shot off. Cam O'Brien also has had a strong game. She kicks it to the far sideline. After the throw trickled through the box dangerously. Closest player to it was Lewis, number 8, and Hitzerich had her on her back. That's off the side of the net. It'll be a goal kick. It'll take us under 16 minutes left. Somerset Berkeley showed up here yesterday after a 2-hour bus ride and gave the Magicians boys all they could handle. After a 2.5-hour bus ride, the Northampton Blue Devils are giving this Magicians girls team much more than they asked for. In for another thrilling ending. That bounces off of Busoni. It allows the Magicians to clear it back towards midfield. The Blue Devils keep it on the attacking side. To Machado. She lifts it in the air. Gilmore gets it off her foot. Hitzerich gets shoved down. And there's a whistle. Galvin called for the push. Machado surveys the field. Looking to go towards the sideline with Church. Doesn't want to be offsides. Holds up her run enough. Flips it into the box. It's coming back towards her. And it will go out of bounds. And it's a throw in for the Magicians. Down by the flag. Liv Carlson will come in for the Magicians. Northampton brings back on Willow Claps, Tegan McDonald, and Lila Sage. And the Magicians better know number 7 is back on the field. Corner kick for the Magicians. It lands at the feet of Dosh. Gilmore kicks it out towards Mortensen. Far post. Across the box, off the head of Church. And they don't get a shot away once it lands. A whistle goes against the Magicians right as the ball landed at the feet of Gilmore. The corner was excellent. There were just too many bodies in front of Dosh to get a shot off initially. We're racing back the other way. Machado makes another play on the ball. Cuts off any sort of transition hope on that run by the Blue Devils. A lot of space for Lewis. Ball cuts off the pass. Strong play by Sydney. O'Brien steps up. It's coming right back to her. Dosh got a foot on it. Sends the ball towards the sideline. Carlson almost gets there, but does enough to earn the throw in for the Magicians. It goes to Carlson. And she lost her footing. She stepped on the ball. But they'll keep it. It goes into Hitzerich. Right on the end line. She's taken down. No whistle. Goal kick is the call. 11.5 minutes left in regulation. Tied at 1. Both goals coming here in the second half. The Magicians scored first, and Northampton tied it. They're trying to lead Claps. Machado's there first and puts it in the bushes. And they're offside. Ball to Mortensen. She's got to get there. She does. Sage was coming on to her fast. And Dosh lost it out of bounds. Nice job by O'Brien, stabbing at it out of the air. Hitzrich can't turn upfield. Poked away by McDonald. It'll be a Blue Devils throw-in. Under 10 minutes to play. The clock on the scoreboard will stop when it reaches 5 minutes. We'll try to keep it on a stopwatch, so we know when we're getting close to the final whistle. Northampton goes to the bench to bring back in Allie Sullivan, another scoring threat. She hit the crossbar earlier. Both teams have hit a post. throw in is too far, and it'll be a goal kick for the Magicians. It's not what they wanted to do. They put them by midfield, but they kick it directly out. McDonald's pass, nobody there for the Magicians. Dosh leading Gilmore. Just a step too far out in front of her, but it bounces back to Mortensen, and she curls it out of bounds. Dosh heads it onto the bench. Dosh goes down, and she's grabbing at Busoni while she's down on the ground. I mean, it's very clearly grabbing at her leg. It's another mental mistake by Dosh. I can't believe she didn't get a card for that. It'll be a free kick for Northampton. Ball with the clear attempt. Reaches the 40, but Northampton able to keep it in. It bounces to Dosh. She's challenged. Mortensen got her jersey grabbed. Skims off the head of McDonald. Hits her. It's trying to break through. Lewis makes the play for the Blue Devils defense. Sammy Dosh will head to the bench. I think that's a wise decision. Laura Bartnaru comes on. The Blue Devils lost it. McDonald with the shot. It gets blocked. Bounces to Carlson, and the Magicians are offsides. I think it was Botnaru. She was the closest player to the sideline, right at the shoulder of the box. Here's a chance for the Blue Devils. Pass middle. They're open. They try one extra pass. It bounces off of Marblehead towards the goal, and Gilmore makes the save. Olivia Busoni tried to make one extra pass that bounced off McDonald in direction of the goal, but Busoni should have shot it herself. The Magicians might have lucked out right there. Five minutes left. So the clock on the scoreboard stops there. Stopwatch starts. Ball's pass goes right to Busoni. And now to Claps. She was looking for Sage. Mortensen's there. And it bounces towards the net. And Ball does just enough to give Gilmore time to pick it up. McDonald has time and space. Over to Church. Return pass Church's way from Hitzerich, too far out in front of her. They'll have a throw in. And Claps a step or two offsides, trying to sneak behind Machado. Ball. Drops it from Mortensen. Too sharp a pass. Back to Ball. Mortensen hustles back for it. Splits defenders with the pass. It's off the shins of Carlson. Back to the Blue Devils. They're racing past midfield, and Church able to dislodge it from behind. Here's Carlson on the sideline. Defender on her shoulder, and it bounces out of bounds off the Blue Devils. About 2 minutes have passed, so we have about 3 left. The throw-in goes into the box off Carlson. It's kicked back towards midfield. Machado's there with Claps racing behind her. Now it's with Ball. Botnaru trying to get back on sides, and the pass is by her and out of bounds. We might be headed for overtime for the second straight night. Looks like we might have the same score as well between the same seeds in the bracket. It's funny how that stuff happens. But will the result be the same? Will the Magicians move on? Pass to Botnaru. She's onside, looking for an angle. And it's a throw-in. As deep as it can get. Mortensen will take it. Drops a short one to Hitzerich. She's immediately double-teamed. Tries to squeak through, and it's cleared. But Ball steps up on it. She meets one of the Blue Devils players. It's number 1, Busoni, challenging her. It forces it out of bounds. Final 90 seconds or so in regulation. Claps almost kept it in bounds. It's last touch by Ball. Busoni. Intended for Claps. Machado gets there first. Another fantastic play right there by Machado. She had to have it. Centered. Top of the box. It's free. Hitzerich with the slide tackle. It's clean. She sits on the ball for a minute, and then it's kicked out by Machado. What a play by Hitzerich. Sullivan couldn't get the shot away. Out of bounds around the 40. Quick throw in from the Blue Devils. Final half minute. They have a chance. They center it. And Ball kicks it out. It's kept in on the sideline. Play's going to continue. I think some of the players thought that was going to go out of bounds. Nobody up front to help out Carlson. It's back to Busoni. Final seconds. The Ball cuts off the pass. Clears it past midfield. It's off the arm of Lewis, and the Magicians are going to have a free kick in the final seconds. The stopwatch has over 5 minutes played by about 15 seconds. So they're giving them a little bit of extra time here. Ball's going too far up. She's going to have to move back about 10 yards. Nice try. This to send the Magicians into the Sweet 16. Ball loads up. It drops in front of the net. It's loose. It bounces off of Power Green's hands and out of bounds. And that is the end of regulation. One final attempt by Ball to get your heart racing as we head to overtime. We'll take a 5-minute break. It is 1-1 after 40 minutes in the MIAA Division II round of 32. And for the second straight night, overtime from Piper Field upcoming. Welcome back to MHS Sports on MHTV for overtime. between the 10th seeded Magicians and the number 23 seeded Northampton Blue Devils. For the second night in a row, we head to overtime on Piper Field between the 10 seed and 23rd seed in the Division II bracket, tied at 1. With sudden death overtime to declare a winner. One team's moving on to the Sweet 16, and one team's season is coming to an end in the next few minutes. We hope it's the same result as last night, as Jared Halpern was the hero for the Magicians, winning it in double overtime. A hero will be crowned tonight for one of these two teams. The teams are shooting the same direction as they were in the second half. The Magicians' goal came from Sophie Robinson as she broke past the Blue Devils' defense. And the Blue Devils' goalie, Imani Power Green, was way out of the box. And Robinson pushed it by her into the net. For the Blue Devils, their goal came from Willow Claps. In live play, found a shooting lane and buried it. That tied it. Ava Machado just made another excellent play in the corner. She steps up, makes another one there. Wins that challenge against Claps and allows the Magicians to clear it downfield. Here comes a throw-in. O'Brien hustles up to take it. It goes into McDonald. Ball, space to step up. Gets the defender on her side, now on her back. Runs into another, and it pops to the sideline. Touched last by the Blue Devils. Sammy Dosh back in the game. She'll throw in. Throws it over Courtney Hitzrich's head. And Imani Power Green lets it roll out of bounds. They've played a lot of their goal kicks short. I'd say they'd be wise to kick this one deep. The referee makes a late call. Mortensen was ready to throw it in. She gives it to the Blue Devils. This is poked forward by Lewis and put in the air by Machado. Church had her leg collided with, trying to kick that upfield. And that's going to be a push going against Giannison, number 15. Gave Church a little extra nudge in the back as she tried to field the throw in. Here's a free kick for the Magicians. Referee's going to back up the two defenders in front of the free kick. It's on target! And it just misses! Everybody thought it was in. The bench erupted, the stands erupted. They thought it was over the head of Power Green and into the net, but it was over her head and by the net. The Magicians have to regroup. Hitzerich almost won it right there. And it definitely looked like it was destined for the back of the net. Had me fooled as well. And Northampton forces a corner kick. Sullivan got to the end line, drilled it off the legs of Machado. Number 10, Tegan McDonald will take it. Just over 5 minutes left. A good ball. Headed out by Gilmore. She sniffs out another. Robinson trying to run it down. It's played around her. That's out off Mortensen. It's Claps. Her pass is behind Busoni. That allows Gilmore to play it across. Church trying to get back to it. The defender wards her off. Claps had it for a moment around the 25. And that's going to be a throw-in for the Magicians. Claps with Machado on her. Sullivan's second pass. Ahead to Claps, and it's kicked out by Machado. Another corner kick coming. McDonald will do it again. It's a bad spot for the Magicians to be in. 3.5 minutes left in the first overtime. McDonald, center box. Gilmore again with the header. She's been unbelievable inside the box on everything. Church kicks it off the defender. That'll allow the Magicians to get back. There was nobody up there running with Church. And a bad throw-in off Hitzerich and out of bounds. Gives it right back to the Blue Devils. The call goes against the Magicians. They'll have a free kick. Two and a half minutes. This time the clock will wind all the way down on the scoreboard. Again, Gilmore jumps in front of it. She hasn't had the offensive type of game that we're used to seeing from her. 13 goals this season to lead the team. But defensively, she is playing out of her mind. This is definitely the best game we've seen on that side of the field from Gilmore this season. Doing everything she normally does on offense, but to help out the defense. McDonald has been very physical. She played a great game, earns the pass there. Blue Devils got away with a handball. Here's McDonald looking for the angle. Has to turn back. Dosh double teamed. And it's going to be a corner kick. If I'm mistaken, they have the clock stopped at 2 minutes on the scoreboard. Hitzerich takes the corner. And it's headed for a field goal. That too was Gilmore. Lewis takes the kick. It settles with Claps. Ball challenges right away, wants the call. She gets it. Flipped ahead by Dosh. Robinson gets behind the defense. Forced towards the corner. Tries a crosser, gets blocked. Dosh steps in, tries the same result. Back to Mortensen, a lot of room. Far post. Over the head of Church and out of bounds. And that is the end of the first overtime. And for the second straight night, we are going to double overtime from Piper Field. Another 5-minute break here before we get restarted. The teams will switch ends this time around, and we will be right back for the finish. Well, they put 5 minutes up on the clock, but it doesn't look like they're going to take the break. They reset the clock to 10. And Northampton gets us started in second overtime. Magicians now working left to right, Northampton right to left. This pops up in the box. Claps is there. Machado, though, another play to keep her off of it. Pushed into the corner and out of bounds. Goal kick. Machado picked up some turf on the kick. Not a very clean kick. Comes back to her. She gets it beyond midfield this time, and it tails out of bounds. Blue Devils throw it in quickly. McDonald can't keep it in bounds. Another throw coming. What an exciting couple of nights here from Piper Field. 2 double overtime games for the first 2 tournament games on the new turf. What more can you ask for? Except 2 Magicians wins. We got one last night with Jared Halpern finishing off Somerset Berkeley a few minutes into double OT. Hoping the girls team can do the same here. We're 2 minutes in. Magicians have a throw. They throw it back to Ball. A little bit of trouble controlling. But she gets back to it. It'll be another throw-in. Different strategy this time. Into Hitzerich. She chips it into the box. It lands with Robinson. Robinson off her toe. Not a lot on it. And it's picked up by Power Green after she falls on it. A perfect spot for Sophie Robinson, who came into the game with no goals in the season, and she scored the first one here tonight in this game, and almost just found herself in a spot for the game winner. It's already a memorable game for the captain, but she almost made it unforgettable. O'Brien moves up to the spot where the ball went out. Throws it in Gilmore's way. She heads it down. Church karate kicks at it. Makes a nice play. It goes out off of the Blue Devils. Machado and Claps get there at the same time. Ball goes in the direction of Marblehead. But a whistle against them here on the sideline. Offsides was the call. Feels like the only time the Magicians haven't been offsides was on the Robinson goal. Both goals were scored in the second half. That's the only difference between last night's game and tonight's, as yesterday Somerset Berkeley took a 1-0 lead into the break against the Magicians. Here's Hitzerich. Turns away from a double team, over to Dosh. Sullivan closed in hard behind her and forced it out of bounds. Throw into Hitzerich. There's space on this side of the field. She runs in to Busoni. To Claps. Her pass back to Busoni deflects. I think it caught McDonald on the way through. Mortensen has no choice but to kick it out. 5 minutes left in the second overtime. Here's Church. Knocked down by McDonald, flip back to Church. She's got to get back to it. She's fighting for it. And she drags down Busoni. This is going to be a good spot for a kick for Northampton. The clock will wind down to 4 minutes. It'll be set up and taken by Hatteras Lewis. O'Brien has Claps marked up right at the top of the box. That kick actually goes away from Claps and Busoni, who are standing at the top, right in the middle of the box. Forced towards the sideline. Back to the defense. They'll try and flip the field. Here comes Church. They get it away just in time. Claps steps up on it. Lewis comes in to help her out. O'Brien jumps into it. It settles with Gilmore. She flips it forward. Just past the outstretched foot of Robinson. Dosh meets McDonald. The ball pops up and goes out of bounds. It'll go to the Blue Devils. Long throw. Ball cuts it off. They'll do it again with 3 minutes left in the second overtime. Thrown into Busoni, gets by her. McDonald keeps her momentum moving forward, absolutely crushes the other McDonald on the other team. Stays with Marblehead. Throw in right at the 50. Short throw. Blasted out by the Blue Devils. It backs the Magicians up about 10 yards for another. Gilmore's pass, slow roller to Machado, and she gets there just in time, beating Claps to it. And once again, the Magicians are offside. A very dangerous pass from Gilmore back to Machado. And luckily, Ava is always sharp. Two minutes to play. The clock is stopped. Long ball is headed out of bounds. Off the shoulder of Claps. Keeps her momentum going forward. The ball gets to O'Brien. She clears it past midfield. Robinson running after it. Kicked right back to the 50 along the sideline. And then out of reach of Robinson. About 90 seconds left in the second OT. Nice job by O'Brien. Gets her foot on it. Around Claps. Lead pass up ahead. It's on target. It's Sullivan. Forced towards the corner. It stays in bounds. Played into the middle of the box. Claps, shoots, scores! Northampton wins it! They're moving on to the Sweet 16. They pull the upset over the Magicians, who are stunned. They lose with under a minute left in double overtime. And who else but Willow Claps? She tied it, and she ends it. The whole night has belonged to Willow. And the number 23 seed, the Northampton Blue Devils, take a 2.5-hour ride and absolutely stun the Magicians. They're the ones with the magic late in the final minute. What a couple of nights here from Piper Field. Unfortunately, not the result the Magicians wanted. They just had to hang on for a few more seconds. But Claps found shooting room and finished for the second goal of the night. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. I know we enjoyed the game, despite the outcome. And congratulations to the Magicians girls on an excellent season and a very tough way to end it. Once again, the final score, 2-1. Northampton's moving on. For all of us here at MHTV Sports, I'm Jess Burton. Thanks for watching.